Hey y'all, welcome to my new YouTube channel. Welcome to SOUL Spa Hypno. Here we're going to be discussing how hypnotherapy meets practical spirituality. Yeah, and with that information, it's going to help you to dive deep. We do deep soul healing here, not the surface stuff, some surface stuff, but the majority is deep soul healing. We talk about how the subconscious mind works and the role that it plays in your life. Now, my purpose here is to speak to those people who are truly serious about their spiritual journey, who are really curious about their soul's mission, their purpose in this life. Those who have been, questioning why certain things are happening in their lives. Why do they keep seeing certain patterns? What is going on? Why do they keep experiencing? It's like they're caught in a loop. And life is just not lifing. I'm sure that a lot of you who are watching may come from a religious background. And that is perfectly fine because guess what? So do I. And I know that if you're like me, you have been told some things that you are beginning to find out that simply were not true. They just weren't. And that caused a lot of chaos and trauma and pain in your life. But that's what we're going to be talking about on this channel. We are going to really do some deep diving into how hypnotherapy and practical spirituality can actually help you to gather insights that you can apply to your life and it actually works and makes sense. Okay? So that's the purpose of this channel right here. I'm going to be posting long form videos. I will show you glimpses of actual hypnotherapy sessions, some of the events that, I speak at and panels that, I've been invited to join. We're going to be having fun. We're going to learn, and we are definitely going to heal on this channel right here. Okay. So allow me to introduce myself. I am Pia, the Soul Mentor. I am a certified spiritual hypnotherapist or transpersonal hypnotherapist. So in this work, yes, I do use hypnotherapy and soul healing as tools to help others heal. But my deep-rooted purpose here is that of a soul mentor. That is what I do. I just use those tools to help me to do my work. Now, I come from, as I said earlier, a church religion background. And I was in it for a very long time, y'all, probably longer than I want to even say. But I was deep into it, baby. Bible thumping, honey. I was all the things, doing all of the things. But you know what? I had no idea that I was under a spell. I was clueless. I had no idea that I was actually under hypnosis. That sleep spell had me, y'all. When I tell you, it was only, on one day when that still small voice spoke to my soul. And I can hear it just like it happened yesterday. And she said, "Wake up." And guess what? I did. Now, that's when I started on the second half of my spiritual journey. I still consider growing up in the church and being under, the things that I was being introduced to, that experience, I still consider that a part of my spiritual journey. So I want to put that out there because sometimes when you start to learn the truth and you're starting to wake up and become aware, you start getting angry. You're like, that's not even true. They told me a bunch of lies, and you really go through it. You're like, but guess what? That's a part of your spiritual journey too. That was a part of your path. And when you get on further down the road, you're going to be You're going to be kind of glad that you saw that, because now you're going to have something to compare it to. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, when I started on this journey years ago, I had no idea that spirit was going to bust me down to the bricks, y'all. What y'all call it now? Deconstruction? I call it being bust down to the bricks, where spirit is going to just part you like the Red Sea, okay? And all of those blockages, those hindrances that kept you from tapping into your own inner knowing, blocked you from hearing from your higher self, from hearing from the Most High, even had you out there questioning things, believing all kinds of things. It's going to expose all of those old beliefs, all of those old habits, all of those old patterns, those wounds, the pain of the wounds, all of the trauma, the things that you experienced that was sent your way on purpose now to keep you from waking up and remembering who you are. I had no idea that was going to happen to me. I had no idea. I actually thought that it was going to be pleasant and pain-free, but it wasn't. And that's the other thing. Over here, I'm going to keep it real with y'all. I am. That fluff that you hear out here in some of these spiritual communities, no, we're not doing that. Because, I was beginning to get sucked into that too until I caught it. And I said, wait a minute. They're saying the same things that they say in church. I'm doing the same things that I was doing in church. The devil is a liar and a deceiver. Okay? I'm not going to allow myself to be tricked again. Not like that. And just for emphasis, I know that there is no actual devil. We'll be talking about stuff like that. But no, I began to see it because I had done the work. And spirit had already laid me open and exposed me and shined the light on all of those things that I had to literally let go of. I was able to catch that thing. I was able to catch it and put a stop to that. I'm like, no, we're not doing that. I'm going to keep it real. I'm not going to come on here and tell you that, honey, all you got to do is get a glass of water and speak into that water, honey, and your life going to change overnight. No, we're not doing that here. We're not going to do that here. Somebody going to have to just tell it like a TIT is, and I'm going to do my part to give you real, practical, spiritual insights that you can use, and you will see the changes in your life. You're going to see it. But when I tell you that spirit slung me every which way but loose, showed me things that I didn't even remember. I didn't even know to pay attention to certain things. I did not even know how hypnosis and spell work had me in a chokehold, y'all. Had me in a chokehold. It did. Because ignorance in the spiritual realm is not bliss. It's not, and you don't get a pass either. Okay, let me just put that out there. You don't get a pass. So when you hear that small voice telling you to wake up, baby, heed the direction and do it. Heed the direction. Because spirit is not going to lead you down a path of destruction. It's always going to tell you the truth. Now, if you choose to be led down the path of destruction, you're going to lead yourself down that, because your soul is always going to lead you in a direction of righteousness. I was just bare, laid open, I was. And when you read the ancient text and it says that even the very rocks are going to cry out, there was no hiding. Be not deceived. You can't mock the Most High. You can't. And if spirit is going to use you, if you are that chosen one who is going to be the ambassador for your bloodline, the Messiah for your bloodline, and to come into this realm, this world at this time to heal your bloodline, heal the earth, raise the vibration in this place. Oh, you can bet your bottom dollar. No, you just don't come on this path and thinking that it's going to all be roses coming right out the gate. No, no, no. You have to be prepared. You have to be refined in the refining fire. Oh, yes, indeed. You have to be washed in the waters. You know, life will teach you. You're going to learn some things that is going to absolutely blow your mind. It is. Because it sure enough blew mine. I'm like, oh my goodness, you know. But the thing about it is, we're not going to be talking about things that you don't know. We're going to talk about a lot of things that you just forgot. And the whole process and purpose of this is to help you to remember who you are. You are not just a human being. You are spirit. You are divine. You are sovereign. And you are going to remember that so that you can know it and live it and be successful on this journey. Yeah. You know, I work with those people who are serious about their soul's mission, serious about their purpose. A lot of us wake up and we don't even know what our purpose is. We don't, that when I'm in a session, that's the very first question. Well, what's my soul's purpose? Why am I here? Why am I here? But I can guarantee you that if you follow your intuition, when you follow source in that way, do the inner work, do the things that we'll be talking about on this channel, you're going to know. It's going to be revealed to you when you're ready. It happens line by line, precept by precept. It's not an overnight thing. It's not. And you're not too late. That's the one thing that I love about divine timing. When you think that you missed the mark, no, you haven't. No, you haven't. You have just been in an incubation period. You have been in a building period. And now it is time for you to go to the next level. Some of you have heard me say you go from glory to glory to glory to glory to God. That's how you remember who you are. You know, that's how you do it. I know some people out here are telling you that just because you are awake now and you are aware of spiritual things, that just makes you, you know, super God. No, it don't. It doesn't happen like that. It is a process. It's a process. Because what would be the point? What would be the point of you coming into this life in your full God power? Then you would miss the whole human experience. You would miss it. What would be the point? That's why there are certain veils in place so that you can get the experience that you came here for, so that you can do the work that you agreed to do. Yeah. Now, once you have done that and going through all of the process, you start to remember. And you're going to remember just what you need to remember for this life. You know what? You will probably explode the world if you came in here with all of your God power like that. I mean, come on, y'all. Like I said, don't be deceived. God is not mocked. Source knows exactly what she's doing here. Exactly what she is doing. So I just wanted to welcome y'all to my new channel. I'm still going to be posting shorts on the other channel. That's the SOUL Spa Hypno shorts. Still going to be posting shorts on that. But the longer version videos will be on this channel right here. So if you are ready for a change and the truth that is going to transform your life, then I'll see you in the next video. Talk to you soon.